World Drum Club. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tuesday Museday. I'm Kalani, your host, and today's theme is It's About Time. 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 We'll talk about time in a minute. Hello, everybody. Hi to Rick, Roseanne, Bill, Cornelius. Ooh, I need my scroller. Let me see. Let's go over here. I'm a two-screen guy today. Alex is here. Charlie. Lacey, welcome back. Rebecca. Yeah, Rick, Bill. Okay, I think I'm all caught up. Welcome, you guys. I think I need to play my flute a little bit more. You guys can flute along if you have an A flute. If you have an A flute. All right, everybody, welcome. Yeah, nice to see you guys here. Are you feeling it? So I was laughing when I got up part of the way through this for the loop. It's always something, you guys. Part of the way through the looping, my air conditioner came on because it's kind of hot here today. It's like upper 80s and it's 5 o'clock, right, on the West Coast here. And it was hot, and so I was running the AC just to cool down the studio, and it had gone off, it had turned off, but I didn't turn it off. And then I start looping, and the AC starts blowing. So one of these tracks, I'm not sure which one it is. Let me see. Oh, that sounds good. Let's find it. Oh, that's good. There it is. Can you guys hear it? Can you guys hear the AC in the background? That is hilarious. I don't think it's on any of these other. No, that one's good. I know the ukulele's clean because that was the first thing. All right. It's okay. It's okay. A little air movement sound in the background. It just makes it sound like it's like I'm outside or something, right? I can't talk right now. I'm about to get on my helicopter. All right, how are you guys doing? We have I think a fun show because it's about time. How many references can we make today about time? I've just been thinking about music and time, and you know, in case you guys haven't thought about it or experienced time. And also I want to give a shout out to my buddy Brian Kilgore, who some of you know from our interviews, percussion hang and interview. We did an interview with Brian. He's a local LA studio percussionist. I mean, he's more than a studio musician, but that's kind of his main thing. And he was nice enough to do a Zoom hang with us. But we were roommates in college, and he's a great percussionist. He's always been a good role model. But he used to say, time is more than a magazine and a spice, right? And so as drummers, as percussionists, you know, we're often given the role of timekeeper, even though keeping time is every single person's responsibility in your band, in whatever music you're playing. You know, it's really everybody's responsibility. The drummers are not just the timekeeper, right? Everybody should be keeping time. Otherwise, if you are the drummer and you're keeping time, it makes your job pretty difficult because you're like dragging everybody, or trying to keep everybody from speeding up, depending on the population and the circumstances. But we just thought we'd go over some of the ways that time presents itself and relates to music making. And I'm gonna make this quick. I'll probably make a more in-depth video for patrons, and depending on what kind of questions you guys have, you know, I'll include some of that. And definitely put your ideas in the comments too. And if you have any questions about anything I'm talking about, I'll be happy to answer them, provided we have the time. All right, so time in music, time in rhythm, of course, it manifests itself in different ways. One of the most basic, though, is the pulse, right? The feeling of a pulse, of just something going on there. So repeated pattern, right? Now that's on the super basic level. We call that beats per minute, something that's kind of steady. And depending on the I don't want to say the speed, because speed is a perception in music, right? There's no actual speed. It's not like slow or fast, really. That's how we perceive it. When the notes are close together, we perceive it as something rapid, probably because we're relating it to ourselves, right? So we're relating it to something. Oh, if I was doing something like that, probably running or something, probably doing something fast. Whereas if I'm doing, if I'm relating to this, it's almost like a slow heartbeat. I'm thinking of it, I'm feeling it in a different way, right? We all get that. That's our somatic or physical response to beats or I don't even want to say a rhythm yet because we haven't quite gotten there yet. Another way we can chop up time or chop up the beats is by subdividing. And you guys know this. I know this is remedial for a lot of you, but let's just listen. So we have a beat and we can divide the beat. We can divide it in half or in thirds or in quarters. There's lots of ways to divide the beat. And again, that gives us kind of an interesting effect, and we're using time, we're dividing time. But we still haven't even gotten to another aspect of time, which is meter, right? The meter. What is the meter? We don't know because we're only getting a pulse. So in music, we call it the time signature or the meter. The time signature is the way we the way we notate the meter. The meter is the cycle, and the cycle is how many beats in the measure or the bar or the cycle. Is it 4? right? And how do we know it's 4? Because I'm doing a little thing every 4, so it makes it easier. That's why, you know, rock and roll, right? Clearly 4, 4, 4 on the floor. Is it in 3? One, two, three, 1, 2. Now, one of the ways that we differentiate, that we define meter, is through changing the sounds like I just did. Bass, bass, tone, bass, bass. Right? We can do that. Or the most basic way is we can just use accents. We don't even have to change the sounds at all. And what is an accent? It's just a note that's louder than the other notes. Right? I hope you guys are using accents. You're playing with some dynamics. So we can change the sound, we can change the force, and we can define a meter that way. Now, beyond that, what do we have? We've got, I want to see some comments, you guys. What else? How else are we dividing? Are we using time? One of the more obvious ways is, now we're going to get into a longer phrase, and that is phrasing, and that relates to what we call form in music, right? What is resonating over here? I think it's as simple. Form is how we arrange music over time. And in a song, it's very easy to imagine a verse, you know, and then maybe another verse, and now, oh, there's a chorus, and now here's a verse again, you know. And we through repetition, the use of time and repeating things that happened before, we create a sense of familiarity, we create a sense of satisfaction, we create a sense of maybe adventure, like, oh, we're going to the bridge now, we haven't been here before. Oh, but then we're coming back to the chorus. Oh, thank goodness, I recognize that. And now I can sing along again. All right, so we spread music across time in certain ways to not only introduce the material, you know, whatever it is, but also to create the sense of satisfaction, and like I said, to create that familiarity by repetition, so that as a listener, we say, oh yeah, I recognize that. That came up before. All right, so what else do we do with time? Well, of course, in the general sense, music happens in different time periods. So another use of time, a way that music relates to time, is you have music that is important to you because it happened in certain times in your life, right? That's another aspect of music and time. So the music that you were listening to, say, in your prom or something, or you had your first kiss, or you had your first black eye, no, something like some life event, you know, that whatever music is associated with those things, usually it's just the music will take us right back to that time in our lives. So that's another way that music relates to time. And in the general sense, just getting back to the music that we make, looking at it in a very, you know, pedestrian way. You guys know this, that if you hear music that's fast and energetic and maybe lots of subdivisions, or it's got syncopation, it tends to be kind of exciting and energy producing. And then if you listen to music that's just kind of mellow and repetitive and slow, it tends to elicit just a relaxation response. I'm going to ask somebody to put something in the comments, because I am not seeing any new comments. I haven't seen any new comments for a while. So I'm just going to check to make sure this is working. I'm going to comment. And it is. Okay, so you guys are still there, hopefully. I'm still broadcasting. I don't know. I'm not seeing any activity. All right, you guys. So just FYI, the thing I was doing earlier with the ukulele, super easy. If you guys, you know, if you like that, I was playing an A7 chord and a D7, which is like, I call that my pre-blues, like easy blues kind of thing. And Roseanne has a comment about time, which is historical time. Yeah, exactly. Like time periods where we have certain styles and genres. So, all right. And then I was playing my Native American style flute over that sort of bluesy chord progression. All right. It's time for, and I see your question, Lacey. We'll get to that in a minute when we do Q&A. And thank you, Cornelius. That is a comment. I appreciate that. I didn't know. Usually there's more activity, so I was like, remember a while back, you guys, where I'd be like, I think I'd lost the setting or something was happening, and it's like I was just in here. Oh yeah, I didn't press go live one time, and I'm just like doing. That happened a couple times where I thought I was live streaming and I wasn't. So anyway, all right, let's do this, you guys. Here we go. Ready? Guess the sound. Okay. Are you guys ready? This should be kind of easy. Ready? Here we go. What is it? Kalani's studio falling apart. Oh, it is California. Could it be an earthquake? How about a little reverb? All right, who has guesses as to what that is? Anybody? Anybody? Roseanne's being generous. She's giving you guys first crack at it. I haven't used it a lot on the channel. I've used it a little. Ah. All right, you guys had fair warning. Yeah, so it's this one. This is my, I got this in Mexico City. Let me see if I can focus this camera up here. There we go. So it's a wooden shell. It's like kind of like a little tiny bongo shell. Look at this little handle it has. Isn't that cute? And it retracts. To make carrying easy. And it's got a skin head, natural head, and it's tied with like rattan, which is very old school, kind of cool. And then it's got this big glop of glue stuff on it, and a spring, right? And somewhere, I guess somebody's screen door is not closing properly. I don't know. And then inside, I don't know if you guys can see inside there. It's kind of hard to see with the handle. Let me see if I can move this. You see there? Inside there's a little washer holding the end of the spring. All right. So, and then we're just shaking it like this. Well, it's got kind of two sounds. One of the sounds is that you can shake it, and I'm gonna hold it up to the mic in a second. And then you can just hit the spring, and you can so go back to the main thing. Let's check this out. Here we go. That is a lot of sound out of just a little thing, little thunder drum. So yeah, this is you can get these, of course. There's factory made versions. I just like this one because it was like I picked it up in a market in Mexico City, somewhere. You know, somebody made it, and I have it, and now you guys have heard it. So yeah, thunder tube or thunder drum. There's different names for those, but it's kind of fun. Thundery. If somebody takes it from me, then they would be. See, I'm not going to say it because then Bill and Roseanne are going to give me the eye rolling thing. But you guys can finish that thought. If they took that, they would be. Setting you guys up. I'm trying to do dad jokes here, but now I'm afraid. Oh, is it scaring your cat, Rebecca? That's funny. All right. Well, I hope your cat's okay. Oh, Alex, sorry. You missed the Guess the Sound. But you can go back and watch it. It's over here. All right, you guys. Well, let's get into some Q&A before we get to our last jamming session. But anything else on time, also put it in the comments. I just want to bring it up because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it's good to go back and just revisit basic elements of music, basic concepts in music. And time, of course, is a big one, but there's so many kind of different facets to it, and I find that interesting. So again, there's the beat, there's subdivisions, there's ways that we create rhythms, you know, across time. And I mean, there's no music without time, right? Because there's no beats without time, because there would only just be one beat and we would forget, or there'd just be no time. So time allows us to hear music because music unfolds over time. And we're constantly comparing what's happening now with what came before. And that gives us that sense of repetition. It gives us a sense of phrasing, of form, of remembering a time, you know, of being able to identify with a time, a historical time period, if we're familiar with the music. Yeah, a lot of things about music relate to, a lot of aspects of music relate to time. All right, anyone else? Anything else on time? All right, I'm gonna keep moving. And I'm gonna move my ukulele away a little. I also want to point out that I am playing the cajon down here, and I was using my hi-hat over on the side. I know you guys can't see it right now, but this is another thing you guys can practice, is you get a hi-hat and all right. It's a good way to practice just independence. And if you're looking for a challenge, that would be it. You could also start off with just playing like, just do the foot. I'm like hearing a lot of squeaking and stuff going on down here. And then of course you guys know there's like jingles, and we have the shake hat. Not here today, but you can put stuff on your hi-hat stand. There's also other kinds of add-ons for the hi-hat. There's cabasa stuff, there's shakeres, there's jingle stuff, there's all kinds of things that you could put on if you want a different sound or you want to add a sound to your hi-hat. And if you do get a hi-hat, I recommend actually getting something that's kind of small and lightweight, just because if you're a percussionist, if you're playing percussion, you don't need a giant heavy hi-hat. You're not doing rock and roll gigs, unless you are doing rock and roll gigs, and then get a big heavy hi-hat. But I would recommend just more like a jazz set hi-hat. I mean, that's a style, but if you're looking for something online, put like jazz hi-hat, and it'll probably be a lightweight one and a small one, because you don't need something heavy duty to just do what I'm doing right now. Okay, any questions? Now, Lacey, you had a question. You asked about stand. Could you put that in the comments again? Because they go up and out of my view, and so I don't have any way to scroll back except over here. But if you don't mind, put them in the chat, you can put it a couple times. And if Roseanne, if you've seen a question that you think I should answer, then put it again in there. Cornelius is asking, can I play cajon and hit the hi-hat in 7/8? I think so. That should be 7/8. All right. Oh, good. Okay. What's the best stand for LP mounted or bongos? You know, I don't know. Obviously, one that would fit them. I would just go to the LP website and see what they have over there. There are bongo stands that are made for specific sets of bongos because the manufacturers, like these Tycoon over here, they have their own mounting. A lot of the companies have their own sort of system, but then there are more like universal bongo stands. So there's one that, for example, it'll have like a T kind of mount, and then the bongos just kind of sit on it, and then somehow get locked down. And those kind are kind of universal, so you could sort of put anything on those. So all I know about Matador bongos is they are kind of in that middle area line, so they're not like really heavy, so you could get something a little lighter. And then also the other question you got to ask yourself or answer for yourself is, how do I want to use the bongos? Am I going to be using them seated a lot of time? Do I want them down low? Am I going to stand up and play, or do I want them up higher? This stand is an old Gibraltar stand that I had, so I think this bongo stand, the top part actually does go with the bongos, but I'm not positive. It might have been another stand that I had that I put on the bongos. So, yeah, that's what I'm using. All right, any other questions? Metronome apps are confusing. Like, what's the difference between beat and rhythm? That's what Rebecca is asking. You know, for those kind of things, you guys, I mean, I wouldn't presume to have the definition for all those terms. A lot of those terms they could be answered in different ways, but let me just say this. The beat is often referred to as the pulse, the beat. So again, this is one answer, but this is my opinion. And this is based on my experience. So the beat, I would say, would be your beat, basic beat. And then a rhythm is like play that rhythm. What is that rhythm you're playing? The rhythm would be more like something that has a certain shape to it, has certain qualities. It's a mixture of notes and rests, you know, syncopation. All right, so that would be a rhythm, quote, pattern. So when we say rhythm, we're kind of saying rhythm pattern. Now, rhythm is also used in a more general way, like 4/4 rhythm, 6/8 rhythm, a fast rhythm, a slow rhythm. It can be used general. And beats can also be used more specifically. Like there's people that create beats. And when they say, I'm a beat creator, or I want to buy some beats, or I want to sell my beats, a lot of people now are talking about almost like a complete song bed, you know, and not including much more than just a basic rhythm or a pulse. It's like a whole bed of stuff, you know, bass and keyboards and guitar. So a beat can be like beats. Where's the context for that term being used? And then of course tempo that's easy. That's just like beats per minute. So tempo, slow tempo, fast tempo. Tempo is just our speed, right? So medium tempo, slow tempo. You guys know this, right? Fast tempo. All right? But you know what? That's basic music theory. There's tons of that stuff online. I have some videos, Music Theory 101 videos that I've done. There's a zillion resources for that. And just Google it. You know, you can find basic definitions. But if you have a metronome app, they should be hopefully using those terms in a way that's similar to what I just described. Okay. All right, Alex is asking, what do I think is the best quality percussion brand? You know, that's such a subjective question. And how much money do you have? So I would say, you know, you get what you pay for. There's plenty of decent gear out there. The way I think of it is there's like stuff that has no brand and you're kind of like, where did that thing come from? I don't even recognize this. It could be something that somebody made, which can be good, but usually it's not. You're welcome, Rebecca. Any of the big factory brands, Toka, LP, Tycoon, Meinl, you know, any of those brands are fine. They're all trying to make the best stuff they can. They're doing a good job. I play that stuff. I've played it for years. It works. It's fine. It's good. If you want to take it up a level, there are small companies that make djembes, bongos, congas, cajones, that are focused on making the best of that thing that they can, right? And that is what I would call the craftsman level. So made by craftspeople, right? As opposed to made in a factory, which again, it's okay, but you know, the people working in the factory, nothing against them, but they may not even know what they're making. You know, that's the issue that I have with it. Is sometimes stuff comes out and it's like, what is this? Did somebody check this before it left the factory? But that being said, usually all those major brands are doing a good job. You know, I mean, of course, they're trying to do a good job, so people will buy their gear. But I would say, you know, if you want to get into something like I have these Penderos that are Rafael Penderos, or I have, you know, that the Valji Super Tumba, which was made at a time when Valji was one shop on Sunset Boulevard here in Hollywood, and each drum was made by, you know, the main man. By the way, Jay Barrick just passed away recently, and he was the creator and a primary maker of Skin on Skin congas. He recently passed away. So that was a big loss. So I hope that answers your question. You know, I'm also in favor of supporting craftsmen and artists who make instruments. So, you know, as much as you can, try to do that. I think if you do that, you're also gonna be happy with your purchase. And a purchase of that type is a lifetime purchase. You know, you get an instrument it's good. You don't have to buy it again. All right. Lacey's asking, what's on your bongos? I don't know what that means. What's on them? You mean the heads? These are natural skin heads. But if that's not your question, give me some clarification. And Cornelius, you have a universal bongo stand? Okay, good. Well, maybe if you want to share any info on that, that would be good. And let's start to move into Gimme 5 territory, you guys. Oh, there's an interesting fact. Yes, Zildjian Company started making cymbals in 1623, 400 years ago. Yeah, I mean, that's when Biden was just like in the Senate, I think. All right, enough jokes. Oh, the stand. Yeah, like I said, the stand is a Gibraltar stand, and then the bongo stand itself, I think, is an older Toka stand. I can't really show it right now because I'd have to lift it up or take everything apart. So I might post I might just take my smartphone and like shoot a video, and I could put it up on the Patreon site. Assuming that you guys are members, which you should be. I'm actually going to do, and this will be for Cornelius too, because you've been asking about gear. I want to let you guys know that I will do a studio tour video again, just to update everything. And I'll probably use my phone to do it because it's easier. and I'll show you all the gear, everything that's going on with lighting, microphones, mixers, all that stuff. And then I'll put that over on Patreon. So that way, because a lot of people ask me, what mic is this? What mic are you using for that? What mic? So I think I'll just make a video, and then I'll just have the link in these live streams. I'll just add it to the info, and then it'll always be there. So you guys can check it out if you're interested in that stuff. All right. Yeah, let's do the Gimme 5 stuff again. And while you're doing that, Roseanne, I'll just show these things again. These are like these little what do they call them? Meditation balls or something. You know, like you can do this kind of thing with them. But they're actually really light. They're not like the heavy ones. But I got them because, listen to that. Let me turn it up a little. Well, actually, I'm going to hold it up now that you've seen it. I'm going to hold it up to the mic. Put a little reverb. Sounds like Thursday night out on the street here, because Fridays are trash day and the people come by and steal everybody's recycling. There they are, taking all the cans and bottles out of the trash cans. Hey, I don't mind. I mean, you know, whatever. You got to do what you got to do. So, but aren't those cool? I mean, that's another little. It's a very quiet sound, you guys. But these are the kind of things that when you're out and about, and you see a little novelty store, you know, or like as soon as you start seeing those geodes, you'll see like geodes, and then they have that lit up salt crystal in the in the wind. Go in that place and see if you can find some of these. I guarantee you, they'll have these things. They have like little singing bowls, and a lot of that stuff these days is not the best quality, but sometimes it is, or sometimes you just get the little thing. Like these are probably pretty cheap. I don't think these cost much, and you know, just pick up one or two. And then you'll have it, and if you get a mic, good quality mic, you can put that in your recordings and have fun with that. So that's it's just another aspect of music making and I think it relates to aesthetics, because I mean, look at these things. Isn't that cool? And one is smooth and one is earth-like. All right, so that's my show and tell for today. All right, give me 5s, you guys. Lacey's got one. Brass monkey balls. Spring drum, hi-hat, and cajon. So brass monkey balls, bongos, spring drum, hi-hat, and cajon. It's going to be kind of hard to beat, I think. I don't know, you guys. I would get your Gimme 5s in quick because I'm tempted. I'm tempted to just go with it. Just because of the names. So I can say brass monkey balls a couple more times before we end. All right, I'm going to give this mic a little more juice here. Okay. Test, 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 test. I feel like I need to bump this up a little. All right. Hey, 1 2 1 2. Okay. Appreciate you guys dropping by, and just as a reminder, you guys, remember that we have, where's my slide? Lessons. Got to go over here and like wait. Lessons, full courses, Zoom events, and the Facebook group, all for World Drum Club. All right, you guys? I know I say this a lot, but somebody's got to remind you of these things. And if you're new, if you're dropping by for the first time to Tuesday Museday, welcome. And join us at patreon.com/Kalani. Charlie. You had me at brass monkey balls. Yeah, see, I mean, you can insert that term into just about anything, and it works. All right. All right. Roseanne. Yes. Okay. I think we're going with Lacey. All right. So let me see. I have to review this again. All right. We've got. Let me get this stuff together. So I don't need. I'm gonna set myself up here for a second. We don't need the djembe. Let me move this djembe out of the way. This is called getting ready to live loop. What we need is the what? We need those. We need bongos. We need the hi-hat. Oh, it's loud. Let's get this over here. We've got cajon and we've got the spring drum, right? The thunder drum. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of an atmospheric vibe coming on over here. So we're gonna do it. We'll do this. Yes, we're gonna go somewhere. Let me, I'm gonna change up the tempo a little bit. And I am going to also, I want to set these loops up to be a little longer. So I'm going to do that real quick. And then maybe do one long one. Yeah. All right. I still have to do a looping video, looping course, which I may do. All right. Brass monkey balls. All right. I think this is going to be something that's going to keep coming back. It's the gift that keeps on giving. All right, you guys. We're getting ready for Gimme 5, and I'm going to take my time and get into this because you have to have reverence for the balls. The balls are not to be taken lightly. Well, they're not to be taken at all, actually. Nobody completed my joke setup from earlier, all right? So I was saying if somebody takes this from me, they would be stealing. I'm not going to say it. Sorry, hold on. User error. Are you guys feeling it? All right, I'm gonna leave you with this. We're gonna just groove out on this, but I want to say thanks for dropping by. This has been another Tuesday Museday, a community service of Kalani Music and World Drum Club International. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Great choice, Lacey. And yeah, I like that. Just, you know, different instruments give you different ideas, different vibe. So enjoy this for the rest of the time. I'm gonna let it play out a little bit. Thanks for stopping by, you guys. Appreciate it.